Hey guys, it's MGS, back to give you another part of my Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2004. Today I hope to defeat the Rare Hunter for the 10th time, so I could unlock a new booster pack, which will be the Blue Millennium Booster. So, Rare Hunter has a powerful deck, as you know. He has Exodia, so it's definitely not going to be easy to defeat him. But as always, I am up to the challenge. So I will set Mirror Force, and I will destroy his face down card with my Mystical Space Typhoon. But he just decides to activate that card, which is Jar of Greed, so the trap always takes priority over quick play spells, so he still gets to draw a card. So next I will summon a monster, and the monster I summon is the Hysteric Fairy. So I'm going to enter my battle phase to attack Rare Hunter directly, and I'm off to a good start. The way to defeat the Rare Hunter is you better have cards like Robin Goblin in your deck, and other useful cards that will help you discard the Rare Hunter's cards from his hand. So Rare Hunter likes to use cards like Graceful Charity and Pot of Greed so that he can draw more cards, and he also likes to stall you out with Swords of Revealing Light and cards like Raigeki and Trap Hole so that you can attack his life points. Next, he summons Witch of the Black Forest to attack my life points directly, but I laid out a trap card for him, Mirror Force. This deflects his attack and destroys his Witch of the Black Forest, but he still gets to use his effect to get a left leg of the Forbidden One into his hand. And destroying his Witch or Sanguine is usually a bad idea because he gets a free Exodia piece. So it's my turn again, and I can't attack him thanks to his Swords of Revealing Light. So all I can do is defend, so I will set my Sanguine as he activates his second Jar of Greed. So I'm gonna have to end my turn. Hopefully I draw a Giant Trunade so I can get rid of Swords of Revealing Light. So he summons another Witch of the Black Forest. So Rare Hunter has a few copies of Witch of the Black Forest and Sanguine in his deck, because the effects of both help him get Exodia pieces to his hand. So I'll use the effect of my Sanguine to get a monster from my deck with 1500 attack or less. And I choose Needleworm, which is also part of my strategy against the Rare Hunter. It forces him to discard the top 5 cards from his deck, and it's likely that the Needleworm's effect will help me discard an Exodia piece or two. So this is just the card I was waiting for, Giant Trunade. This allows me to blow away his spell and trap cards back into his hand. And now I summon Kiku, the Ghost Destroyer. And with him I get to destroy his Witch of the Black Forest, even though it lets him get another Exodia piece, but I'm gonna have to get rid of all his monsters if I am to bring his life points down to 0, even though it may be risky. So I just remove from play his Witch and his Sanguine, but his Witch of the Black Forest effect allows him to get the left leg of the Forbidden One. So now I know he has at least 2 Exodia pieces in his hand. Hopefully it'll take him a while to get the last 3, or else I'm done for. So he plays Swords of Revealing Light once again, because as you recall, the Giant Trunade blew it back into his hand. So I've drawn Dunamis Dark Witch, but I want to set Needleworm so I can use his effect. So I end my turn there. So a Rare Hunter decides to pass, there's nothing he can do. So I have Magic Jammer now in my hand. I'll set that down. That'll be useful in case he activates a Pot of Greed, and I can activate it so I won't let him draw any more cards. So I summon my Dunamis Dark Witch, and that's gonna end my turn. I'm still waiting out the 3 turns of Swords of Revealing Light. So Rare Hunter set a face down card to end his turn. Must be a trap to stall me out again. So I've drawn Premature Burial, a spell card that lets me bring back a monster from my graveyard at the cost of 800 life points. I don't think I'm going to activate it just yet. I'm going to set my Big Shield Gardna. Rare Hunter activates his 3rd Jar of Greed of this duel. And that's not good because he got a new card in his hand. So Swords is over. So hopefully his 3 free turns didn't bring him closer to getting Exodia, but I have a bad feeling that it did. So he wants to activate Pot of Greed to draw 2 more cards, but I'm not going to let him do that. I'm going to discard my Swords Revealing Light so that I can activate Magic Jammer to block Pot of Greed from activating, but he still has other cards like Upstart Goblin to draw a card and give me 1,000 life points. So it's my turn again, and I've drawn Penguin Soldier. But I notice he just discarded one of his cards from his hand. Hopefully it's an Exodia piece. It was the left leg, so maybe that was an extra copy. So now I will flip summon my Needleworm, and this lets me force the Rare Hunter to discard the top 5 cards from his deck. So let's see what he was forced to discard. Left arm. That's good, I got at least 1 Exodia piece discarded to the graveyard. So I activate Premature Burial. I will bring back a monster from my graveyard. I choose Hysteric Fairy, because you really have to go on the hyper offensive against the Rare Hunter so that you can finish him quick. So I'll first attack his monster with Hysteric Fairy. So I attacked his Mystic Tomato that allows him to special summon a dark monster to the field in face-up attack mode, and he chooses the left arm of Exodia. He also activates Backup Soldier that allows him to bring back a few pieces of Exodia in his hand, and that's very bad. But good thing he still doesn't have 5 pieces of Exodia in his hand. I had a feeling after Backup Soldier he would. So I destroy that Exodia piece with Dunamis Dark Witch, Needleworm attacks. Unfortunately my attacks won't be enough. He will still have life points after I attack him with Kiko the Ghost Destroyer. So I will remove from play 2 monsters from his graveyard. So I remove Witch of the Black Forest and Sanguine so that he can't use their effects again if he decides to bring them back from the graveyard. So unfortunately I have to end my turn. Hopefully this turn he doesn't draw the last piece, or the second to the last piece. Oh, unfortunately he's going to play another Upstart Goblin and Pot of Greed. So I'm very worried here, he's drawing so many cards. But he still doesn't have the all 5 pieces, and that's great. I needed one last turn to defeat the Rare Hunter, and hopefully this turn I can. Unless he has Mirror Force face down, which I have a hunch that he does. But I won't know until I attack, so I attack with Kiku the Ghost Destroyer, and I finished off the Rare Hunter. So I unlocked the Blue Millennium Booster Pack. Let's see what's inside. Okay, the only rare card that I got was the Masked Sorcerer. You inflict damage to your opponent's life points with this card. Draw 1 card from your deck. It's too weak to attack with this card, so I really don't like the Masked Sorcerer. and all the other cards I don't really care for. So alright guys, thank you for watching my Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament 2004 playthrough. Comment, like, sub, and in the next part I'll probably do Umbra and Loomis, try to beat them for 10 times, and I'll probably get a new booster pack for that. Alright guys, thank you, and see you guys next time.